We've talked about it on this show before, that John Bolton has been trying to move matters towards a military confrontation with Iran, and he appears to be getting closer and closer to that. We have to keep in mind that John Bolton has been trying to start a war with Iran. He's advocated a war with Iran for more than 20 years. And in those 20 years, his best shot yet is probably the one that exists right now, because we have a public that is much more focused on tax returns, a Mueller investigation, Russiagate. We have no Secretary of Defense right now at the Pentagon. We have a president that is preoccupied with other things and beyond that doesn't seem to understand geopolitics that much. So the pathway for John Bolton to be able to aggressively escalate matters towards war with Iran is more open now than it has been before. And that's exactly what he seems to be taking advantage of right now when making statements about this deployment of the warship, making it sound as if it was aimed at deterring an Iranian so-called threat, whereas in reality it was scheduled to go there long before.
Defense Secretary Patrick Shanahan, former Boeing executive for decades, said that deployment was made of the military carrier strike group and bomber task force because credible threat by Iranian regime forces. Axios reporting the threat is based on information passed on from Israel. What is Israel's interest in this?
Well, the Israelis have been pushing for a military confrontation with Iran for quite some time as well, and certainly Bibi Netanyahu has prided himself as being the foremost advocate of a military confrontation with Iran. He just stated a couple of weeks ago outside of the Warsaw Conference that what is bringing the Arab states and what he's referring to essentially is Saudi Arabia and the UAE together with Israel is a common interest for war with Iran. Now, of course, they don't have the capacity of taking on Iran on their own, so the pressure is on the United States to start a war with Iran and essentially fight it for them. And as former Secretary of Defense Bob Gates said, the Saudis want to fight the Iranians till the last American. What is also interesting about this Axios report is that it's actually not intelligence that was being given to the United States about what the Iranians are doing, but rather an analysis of what the Iranians may be doing in the region. So we're now in a situation in which John Bolton wants to use an Israeli analysis written by some analyst in Israel about what Iran may do as the smoking gun to start his war. This is not only a repeat of the Iraq scenario, but it's actually a farcical version of the Iraq war scenario.